Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan Cohn, and today I have my book review of the book Paths of Disharmony by Dayton Ward, the fourth book in the Typhon Pact series. Before I begin my review, you can probably already tell I am very sick. I am fighting off a cold. I have been fighting off a cold for over 2 weeks now. I thought I would be done by now, but unfortunately it's not. And I did not want to wait because I am my release schedule is almost caught up to what videos I have made, so I needed to make some videos. And I've been reading, so I wanted to talk about what I'm reading, so I apologize that I sound stuffy. But let me talk about this book, which is a pretty awesome book. The Typhon Pact is a collection of loosely connected stories. The way they're connected is they're, of course, on Star Trek, but they have to deal with how different members of the Federation are starting to leave and join the Typhon Pact. And so the first book followed some of the DS9 characters. That was Zero Sum Game. The second book, Seize the Fire, followed the Titan. The third book, Rough Beasts of Empire, followed some more DS9 characters and TOS characters. And then the fourth book, Paths of Disharmony, is a Next Generation book. And I thought that the first book was mediocre, didn't love it. I thought the second book was not good. I thought it was boring. I thought the third book was pretty good, but it didn't hit the top echelons of Star Trek. It had an unevenness to it. Part of it was amazing, and part of it was pretty bad. This book, however, is a pretty good book. I would say that this is Dayton Ward's second best novel that he's turned in, that I've read at least. The best book that he turned in is From History's Shadow, which was just a superb media tie-in fiction book. I don't think that Dayton Ward will ever turn in a book that can compare with From History's Shadow because of what it did for the genre. But as just a Star Trek book, as a political thriller book, and as a book with deep themes, this book works really well. I would say that this book actually connects well with the other Star Trek book that has to deal with the same plot line, which is a little bit later, called The Ceremony of Losses by David Mack. Now, that novel is one of the best Star Trek novels ever, so I would highly recommend reading that one. But this one is a good lead up to it because the plot lines here are paid off there. I read them out of order, but I still recognize the setup and payoff that these have. And what this book has to deal with is Andor, not that Andor. Andor is dealing with a fertility crisis. The planet is, and the Andorians don't know what to do, and they are just in a panic mode because they're all going to die off soon. And so the Federation is trying to help them using some technology and some science to try to help them find a way out of this fertility crisis. But there are people within the Andorian society that don't want outside help. And they're willing to fight and even kill their own people in order to keep the Federation out. It's like we value our freedom and we value our independence from the Federation more than we value our own lives, so we're willing to kill people in order to protect our freedom. And it's a really sad state of affairs, but it's actually well written because you see very different sides of a debate. You see the political sense and the leaders and what they're talking about. You also see the grassroots of there's some individuals who are trying to grow families and they're having trouble. So you see it on all levels. And then of course you have the Star Trek characters, the characters we love. Of course, Picard is on the cover, and he certainly gets a huge amount of time in this novel, as he does in practically every Next Generation novel. I think that Geordi LaForge got some good moments, and a lot of the minor crew members, the crew members who aren't from the TV show but were original to the novels, Dayton Ward is actually pretty good about giving them all something to do in this book. So I quite enjoyed the way that this book deals with all of the Next Generation characters. It doesn't have the hit that A Ceremony of Losses does. It deals with both books deal with the same thing. Both books deal with similar themes and issues, but this book doesn't have the punch in the gut that A Ceremony of Losses does. So I would actually give the edge to A Ceremony of Losses, significant edge. And so if you only have time to read one of them, read that book. But this book I still think is well worth the time. I think it's well worth the effort. And so this book, I would give it like a 9.1 out of 10. I think it was very good. And I hope to read more books like this on this level by Dayton Ward. He's still not a top-tier Star Trek author for me, but this moves him up a little bit. So if you've read Paths of Disharmony, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments section. And until next time, I'm Jonathan, and thank you for watching.